Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to show you guys how to set up your bait casting reel to make sure that you don't have a bunch of backlashes. Now, backlashes and tangles are just a part of fishing with bait casting reels. There's not a single day that goes by that I'm fishing with a bait casting reel and I don't backlash at some point. You know, sometimes it's just, you know, the bait hits the side of the boat as I'm roll casting, or hits the side of a dock, or whatever it may be. Maybe I just have a reel that's not really set properly. That always happens too when you're you know, constantly rigging up new reels and changing line and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you how to properly set your tension knob and also the brake system. So first off, let's actually talk about that, because a bait casting reel like this, you know, a modern day bait casting reel is going to have both a tension knob right here, which pushes tension on the spool. Okay, so this actually is constantly putting the same amount of pressure on the spool throughout the cast. And then you also have some sort of braking system. So whether it's internal, like on this Fitzgerald VLD10, I actually have a plate on the side that comes off. You twist it off like this. And let me do this without backlashing. And then you have access to the different options in the braking system. So you can move this little dial, and usually I just keep it on one. That is the setting that I always keep these VLD10s on. You know, beyond that, there's too much braking that's involved with this reel. So one is just perfect for pretty much everything other than like the largest baits that I can find. But there's a lot of different reels out there that offer like an internal braking system where you have to take that plate off. But there's also a ton of different braking systems that are magnetic that you can control on the outside of the panel. And whether you have an internal or external, a magnetic or a centrifugal force braking system, they pretty much work very similar. Essentially, this braking system, as opposed to the tension knob that has constant pressure, the same pressure constantly throughout the cast, the braking system actually engages at a certain RPM, so at a certain time during the cast. So it slows down that spool once it starts spinning at a certain speed. So that's exactly what the braking system is compared to the tension knob. And that's important to remember. And so the way that I set this up is the first thing that I do. This is a brand new reel that I just got out of the package. I'm getting ready for the Eufaula event. And essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first set the tension knob. Okay, so make sure that your braking system is completely off. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the braking system, set it at 0. Okay. All right, so we're set at 0 on the braking system. And how I'm going to set the tension knob is I'm going to let the lure free fall. Okay, so I got this chatterbait here, and we're gonna let it free fall, and it falls really fast to the ground. And if I let this thing hit the ground without me, you know, feathering the spool at all, it would create a huge overrun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it clockwise on this reel to go ahead and put some pressure, and I'm gonna keep putting pressure on that tension knob until I get to the point where the bait falls on its own weight, but not very fast. And when it hits the ground, it doesn't overrun. So as you can see here, I'm gonna let it hit the ground without touching it. It overruns a little bit, but I mean, not a whole lot at all. That's exactly what I wanna see, is I want the bait to be able to fall on its own weight, you know, fairly quickly, but not fast enough to where when it hits the ground, it's actually going to start overrunning too much and create a tangle. So the tension knob is set perfectly on this right now. If you set it too tight, you're just not going to cast very far. It's going to be hard to be accurate. It's just not going to feel right. And then from here, I'm going to adjust the braking system. Like I already said, on the VLD10, I like to just keep it at 1 pretty much the majority of the time. And so, you know, this reel is pretty much set. On your braking system, every single reel, every manufacturer, every model is going to be very, very different. So you just need to figure out what that sweet spot is. And also make adjustments based on the wind. You know, if it's super windy and you're casting into the wind, you might want to add into you might want to add some braking. But if it's a nice clear day, you might do well with less braking. So it's just a matter of trial and error with the braking system. But as far as the tension knob, that's something you could do at home and pretty much get it perfect every single time. But anyways, guys, hopefully this tutorial helped you set up your bait casting reel. Bait casting reels are a great tool in bass fishing. I love fishing with my bait casters. Love just putting that in the palm of my hand and getting after it. Roll casting and pitching and flipping. It's all great. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions, drop a comment below. And also make sure you like, share, subscribe. And I'm going to be putting affiliate links in the description below for the products that I talked about in this video. So if you want to buy any of the products that I talked about, use that link. You get 10% off and it supports the channel. So please use those if you're looking to shop for tackle. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll see you out on the water. Take care.